Greetings, Sir Shrimpington here. Today, we're going to talk about building a Tank Dexxer. As such, it's time to don your armor, grab your sword, and lower your intelligence. Welcome to Sir Shrimpington's Guide to Tank Dexxer. Here we go. Rodney, look! Isn't he cool? This guy is swinging around a giant axe and killing everything in sight. What do you mean, stupid? Low intelligence? Well, I'm sure I won't notice the difference. Let me just turn down my brain. Oh yes, and turn up my juggling hands. There. Now I'm all set to play a Dexxer, and I feel exactly the same as I did before. Oh, what's this? I suddenly have very strong opinions about the Kardashians. Tank Dexxer, do you want to swing a sword? Do you want to have stupidly high AR? Do you want to roleplay as a holy, God-fearing paladin? Then look no further, as today we will be diving deep into the world of the Dexxer. Oh, you just want to see the build? Bam! Did you see it? Okay then. Firstly, let's take a look at the skills. Disclaimer, I made this build myself and I don't give a shit about the meta. Fuck you. Tactics. This is a lot of damage and gives us access to our Codexes. This skill is non-negotiable. I went to 100 with this as the damage from tactics is huge. Anatomy and healing at 80. These give us access to the healing Codex, which is seriously OP. They also raise the amount of healing our bandages do, allow us to cure poison, and even resurrect dead players using bandages. Lastly, anatomy increases our damage, our swing speed, and makes it more likely that our Codex finisher will trigger. Neat. Parrying at 80. This increases our defense against both melee and magical attacks. It gives us access to the Taunt ability that increases our AR and allows us to protect our allies. Lastly, it gives us access to the Parrying Codex. Swordsmanship. This is currently the most OP Dexxer weapon available, but we're taking it for the Paladin roleplay. Oh yes. With this, we'll have access to the Swordsmanship Codex too. You can take any weapon skill you like, such as macing or fencing here, but I chose Swordsmanship. Alchemy at 80. This increases the healing of our heal potions and increases the duration of our buff potions, which are mandatory to glug 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 as you're playing a Dexxer. Otherwise you'll find yourself dead. Level 80 also gives us access to the Alchemy Codex, which is by far the most OP codex in the game. Seriously, this skill is ridiculous. Chivalry at 120. Now, the skill scrolls to go from 100 to 120 are a bit expensive, but they are 100% worth it, as this skill is crazy. Every chivalry spell scales based on your chivalry level, so at 120 chivalry, we get a massively increased swing speed, healing, and bleed and damage reduction. You name it, chivalry can do it. Chivalry, however, does deactivate in PvP, so be sure to keep that in mind when a red player gives you that look. Oh, you cheeky boy. Ah! Blacksmithy at 100. This is a controversial pick that all of the long-time players are shaking their heads at. Well, I don't care. Blacksmithy at 100 gives us a 25% AR bonus to all of our armor pieces, as well as a 10% damage bonus to our weapon, as long as the weapons and armor can be crafted by a blacksmith. And we'll be wearing plate mail and using swords, which can all be crafted by a blacksmith. This bonus also works in PvP, so red player Dexxers will have a tough time bringing you down. This skill will take quite a while to level, and it's expensive, so if you don't want to bother with blacksmithy, then I would replace this with Arms Law. You'll be less tanky, but you'll do more damage. But this is the Tank Dexxer guide, so we're sticking with blacksmithy. Let's look at codexes. Oh boy, we'll be using a lot of codexes in this build. Starting off, we have the Swordsmanship Codex. You'll want to start off by leveling the Warrior stance. This will give you bonus accuracy, damage, and defense, so it's a great all-rounder whilst you're leveling. Once you reach level 5 in Warrior, you'll want to choose the Execute finisher. This will do a chunk of damage to your opponents if it triggers. Next, you'll want the ability Spin Slash. This increases your accuracy, damage, and weapon special chance for 15 seconds. Again, the bonus accuracy and damage will be a huge help whilst you're leveling, and the weapon special chance will increase our chance of inflicting bleeds on our opponents. After that, level each stance to 5 in order to max out your finisher, and then just bring everything up to max. You get it, level the fucking codex. If you're planning to use your tank in group content, then consider the defensive weapon stance. This will give you a 28% damage resistance at max rank. Once you're a bit more established with your links, aspect, and codexes leveled up, then you'll want to use either flaying or aggressive rather than warrior. Moving on, the healing codex is insane, like me. Once leveled, you'll want to put 6 points into pressure points. It's raw damage, baby. 6 points into self-treatment. This will lower your bandage cooldown by 3 seconds, which is huge when you're face tanking 5 mobs and a boss. Next, I put 3 points into triage and combat medic. These give you bonus defense whilst you're being bandaged, or after having just been bandaged. So basically, you can keep these defense buffs up 24/7 as long as your bandages are constantly being applied. After that, you'll want to just put your remaining points wherever you like. The Healer's Codex is very interesting, and everyone's build is slightly different. The Alchemy Codex. Oh yes, this thing is really gosh darn good. Firstly, you'll want 6 points in mixed results. This will increase the duration of your strength, agility, and magic resistance potions by 300%, and give you a 4.5% damage reduction buff. You'll want to keep all 3 of these potions active at all times, and with 80 alchemy and this codex ability active, your potions will last for over 30 minutes. It's actually insane. Next, you'll want 6 points in volatile. This increases the damage of our greater explosion potions, which we can throw and stick to mobs as we're farming thanks to our 80 alchemy. This is a serious damage boost, so don't miss out, and remember, those potions are AoE damage, so stack up those mobs, baby. Next, you'll want 6 points in Bandolier. This lowers the cooldown of all potions by 3 seconds. This includes your healing potions and your explosion potions, so this is both more healing for you and more damage for the enemy. After that, you can apply the points wherever you like. I would recommend at least 1 point in freedom, so that you can use a refresh potion to free yourself from entangling or hindering effects. The Parrying Codex. Oh yes, this one is a doozy. You'll actually be switching between your different stances in this codex relatively regularly, so we'll need to make sure we fully level this up as quickly as possible. The important stances are Shield Bash, Mirror, Warding, and Testudo. Firstly, you'll want to get Shield Bash up to level 5, as this is a great all-around stance for leveling, similar to the Warrior stance in the Swordsmanship Codex we spoke about earlier. Once you reach level 5, you'll want to activate the Last Stand finisher. This has a chance to lower any damage you take to 1, but only when you're low in HP. It's perfect for a tank. Next up, there are no weapon skills in this codex, so we'll want to level the Mirror stance. When you are fighting a magical mob, you'll want to swap from Shield Bash to Mirror to prevent spell damage. Mirror is ridiculously strong, and you'll be shrugging off those spells in no time. Next, level up Warding. This is great when you're fighting mobs that apply a lot of bleed or disease effects. Testudo is a great stance for when you're pulling multiple mobs, as you gain bonus defense for each mob that is aggroed onto you. Don't forget to use your AoE taunt ability to grab the attention of everyone in the room. The Bulwark stance is incredibly powerful if you plan on standing still. However, I only recommend using this ability if you're solo tanking in group content, or you plan to combo it with the Earth aspect, which we'll talk about later. Or right now. Aspect choices. Alright, Dexxers have a plethora of aspects to choose from, but I'm only going to focus on 3 for this video, as we are specifically looking at being a tank. Aspect choice number 1, Holy. This is an incredibly good aspect to level. It gives us bonus Chivalry and Holy Symbol refresh rate. This means that we can effectively spam all of our Chivalry abilities on cooldown, as you'll never really run out of symbols. The weapon ability gives every ally around you a shield that blocks damage based on your holy level, so it's great to use in group content or solo. This aspect is recommended if you plan to farm solo. Aspect choice number 2, Earth. This aspect is the mother of all tankiness. It increases your damage resistance cap so that you can tank more damage, and it gives you a huge damage resistance increase. When you start leveling up this armor, you'll really start to feel just how strong you've become as you stand there and let the demon wail on you without a care in the world. If you combo this with Bulwark from the Parrying Codex, then you can literally just stand there and take almost no damage. It's hilarious and great in group content. The third aspect choice is for group content only, and only to be applied to your weapon, not your armor. The Artisan weapon gives you and your allies a damage and a damage resistance bonus. This is great to bring for bosses and other large-scale group content, as you are buffing everyone's damage and defense, whilst also tanking. You'll also gain a ton of Artisan levels if you wear the Artisan weapon and armor, whilst you're crafting your way to 80 alchemy and 100 blacksmithy. Alright, so that's the build. Let's talk through how I tackle dealing with mobs and content on this build. For solo farming, I'll equip my weapon or armor aspect of choice. If I'm leveling my aspects, then obviously I equip the aspect I'm leveling. But if I'm trying to farm lots of gold or kill mobs quickly, then I'll opt for holy armor and weapon. You could also opt for the Earth weapon, as it will lower the armor rating of mobs in an AoE around you, allowing you to take down large crowds very quickly. For Codex, I take Mirror or Shield Bash on the parrying Codex, depending on the mob I'm fighting. I would recommend opening this Codex hotbar so that you can see and quickly swap between all of your parrying stances at will. Lastly, in my Swordsmanship Codex, I will take either Warrior or Aggressive. If you're a scared little baby, then the aggressive stance might be too much for you, as it does increase the damage that you take. Warrior is a nice all-rounder that you can just leave on, and no matter what you're doing, you're guaranteed to get value from it. If you opted to take Arms Law instead of Blacksmithy, then you can consider taking Flaying, as you'll be dealing out lots of bleeds. Once you start looking at links, you'll be taking the melee, special and damage links, and this is the point where Flaying becomes more of an option for us blacksmith-enjoying chads. Generally, I just sit in aggressive stance, as I have massive, shrimp-shaped testicles. Okay, we'll want to eat delectable food for the swing speed bonus. Then, we'll want to drink all 3 potions, strength, agility, and magic resistance. These will trigger the bonuses from our Alchemy Codex and give us massive buffs to our HP and stamina. Next, I activate my auto bandage script that will basically just always keep bandages active on you 24/7. This will keep you topped up in health and keep the healer codex buffs we mentioned earlier active too. Seriously, with a 7-second bandage timer, you will want to use a script for this, or you'll be pressing that bandage button like your mama presses on my shrimp-shaped testicle. Next, you'll cast Sacred Journey and teleport wherever you like. Using the Sacred Journey gate will give you a 6% damage boost by default, or an even higher damage bonus with Holy Armor equipped. Keep in mind that this damage bonus will also apply to your friends that use the gate, but only if they stay within 50 tiles of the player that cast the gate to begin with. Alright, so we're all buffed up and ready to fight. Let's make sure to split up our potions and bandages a bit to deter thieves from stealing all of our healing supplies. Let's also open the Chivalry hotbar and click the box next to the Divine Fury spell. This will auto-cast Divine Fury on cooldown whilst we're in combat, and this is the best Chivalry spell, as it gives us bonus swing speed. Next, let's run up to a monster and start fighting. Firstly, I'll throw an explosion potion on the monster by clicking on their health bar. This gets the explosion potion on cooldown as quickly as possible, so we can throw another one if we need to. Next, I'll cast the Chivalry Spells Enemy of 1 to increase our damage, and Consecrate Weapon to increase our chance of afflicting bleeds. I use these spells manually on hotkeys, as you don't necessarily want them up all the time unless you're using Holy Armor. Once you start using other armor sets, you'll find that using these on cooldown will keep your holy symbols at 0 for the majority of the time, which is not good. Now, if I get afflicted with a bleed or disease effect, then I react by casting Dress Wounds. This lowers the damage you take from these effects. Next up, if I'm fighting a mob that applies the poison effect, then I will cast Cleanse by Fire. This lets us remove the poison effect by attacking the mob, and deals bonus damage too. Now, it's a good idea to make sure that you always have at least 5 holy symbols available at any time, as this lets us cast Holy Light. This spell heals us and all of our allies, as well as damaging all enemies around us. This is essentially our panic heal button for when our bandage is not ready to go off and our heal potions are on cooldown. Make sure you can cast this at any time if you want to survive. There's also the spell Noble Sacrifice, which does a massive heal. However, this then prevents you from receiving any healing for the next 5 seconds, so use this with caution. You can also use this spell to resurrect any dead player, so that friendly paladin roleplay can really come to life. And well, that's it. That's how you solo farm as a Dexxer tank. If you're in a group, then I would recommend taking Earth Armor, as you won't need so much DPS from your Chivalry skills. Additionally, I would stay in Bulwark stance on your parry codex and basically just taunt mobs and stand there whilst your party deals out big damage. For bosses, I would recommend the Artisan or Holy Weapon, whichever you have leveled higher. Alright, quickly, let me show you the hotkeys, macros and scripts I use for this build. Bam! Bam! Bamarino! You got all that, right? For a copy and paste version of the scripts, head to my Discord and check out the links page. I tend to keep scripts and other useful files in there. Oh, well, Timmy, I truly am the tankiest Dexxer in Outlands. What do you think? I think that you became real stupid, Unky Schwimpy. Oh, yes, little Timmy, I truly am the stupidest. Wait. Thanks for watching. If you plan to make an Unga Bunga Tank Dexxer after watching this guide, then please do consider Unga Bunga-ing your thumb into the like button. You can help me hit my goal of 1,000 subscribers by hitting that button below. I stream every weekday on Twitch, so come on over and say hello. We play lots of different games and chat a lot of shit. Anyway, I'm off to taunt a band of demons and stand there whilst they all hump me to death. Ta-ta! Sir Shrimpington, out! After that level, fucking, that's twice? After that, you can apply the potions. The potions are the points, you dumbass! Once you reach level 5, you'll want to activate. Who wrote this? Don't forget to use your AoE taunt ability to grab the attention of If you combo this aspect with Bulwark If you combo this Why? Oh, still here after the bloopers, are you? Well, tanking is quite fun in Outlands, but if you plan to tackle big group content, then make sure you have a mage healing you too. Otherwise you'll go kaboom and die. You'll die. You will die.